possible, but it was so ridiculously difficult that it was only possible to do in a TAS, or a tool-assisted speedrun, which is when a person can manually manipulate every input on every frame and use special tools such as slowing a game down in order to create a perfect speedrun. This video by Rayman from 2013 shows it off. By using lag, DK is able to clip out of the Blastomatic above the frantic factory door and jump onto a slope inside of it where he is able to perform a moon kick, or precisely fly up to grab the ledge to the doorway. However, even if it was possible, it skips a move by, because you would still have to unlock all 5 Kongs and buy the moves necessary for the fight with K. However, there was a known way to get all the moves without unlocking the Kongs and buying them. But how? Well, for that, we must go back to our old friend X-Core, who discovered not only Funky Weapons glitch, but also something called main menu moves. This glitch may look very similar to FWG, and it is. Both abuse the intro story glitch and certain minigames having to load certain moves and upgrades in order to be possible. The basis of the trick is entering the main game through an unintended method, which we will get to, which skips the game transition from our previously mentioned main menu mode to the adventure mode. It also skips the game checking for things such as if you have watched the boss cutscenes before. The way this is done is by using the intro story glitch to fade into the intro story. I briefly mentioned it before, but in order to fade into the intro story, you need to watch a cutscene. So how can you watch a cutscene in the main menu? Well, while sitting in the main menu, there are 10 possible so-called Easter eggs that can happen. DK can shake his leg, Rambi can get chased by beavers, and so on. 7 out of these 10 things count as cut story, and eventually fade into the actual game. Since the game doesn't transition from main menu mode to adventure mode, anything the game loads while spent in the main menu will transfer to the game. So, getting to this final intro story scene that shows DK's house always takes 4 minutes and 26 seconds. Since there is no way to manipulate this, runners will try to do as much as possible within this time frame. This includes talking to Cranky and going back to the main menu to begin loading into boss fights or minigames that will give them any moves they will need to learn. After this sequence is done, all they have to do is wait for a cutscene to trigger in the main menu, and they will be brought back into the game. With these 2 miracle tricks, you can theoretically beat the game with only DK, since you don't actually need to unlock the characters to use the final boss fight. However, as I explained, the Blastomatic kick used to get the order of DK. Simplifications were discovered over time while writing the trick, but after an unbelievably long 40 hours As I mentioned before, runners began doing the orange training barrel during the ISG sequence to save time in other parts of the run. However, runners would start doing it at the beginning of the run again, as a result of two major discoveries. Because runners want to do as much as possible during ISG, one thing that was considered but never possible was collecting key 8 during it, and it was impossible for two main reasons. First, the key dance is considered a cutscene, which if you remember means that the game would drag you back to the intro story. Secondly, while traveling out of bounds at Helm's Lobby, B-Logger's text would activate, which would also drag you into the intro story prematurely since the game considers it a cutscene. At the time, there was no feasible way around either of these things. However, it was discovered that using orange damage allowed you to skip the key dance cutscene and you could save and exit midair, which is the reason why runners had to do the orange training barrel at the start again. Secondly, with proper camera manipulation, it was possible to skip the B-Logger's text animation. Runners was trying to do an extremely difficult trick this for a while. While it worked in theory, it was difficult in practice. People eventually quit the game, no longer having the patience or desire to bring things down even further. However, a runner named Isotarge would over time optimize the game to make it viable. This enabled him to have a serious shot at completing his route. It's important to clarify just how difficult this route was. An entire document exists to explain why, and that if you are the absolute upper echelon of skillers, then try to experience. Among other things, the start of the run with the key 8 has to be near perfect, or you will prematurely fade into the intro story. The other important thing to mention is how the game saves the sets for performing ISG. Previously, runners would just follow the theme and a surefire way of making sure information was sent to them included benefiting you just getting his weapon for the K. Rool fight, since none of the other Kongs needed theirs. This would no longer be possible. It was discovered that watching the Diddy DKTV press start menu would give you Diddy's weapon. Viewing a file would erase this though, and since you couldn't guarantee if the moves would go to the proper file or an unusable hidden file known as File 4, which the game only uses behind the scenes to handle certain data, this created massive problems. As a result, a runner named TJ, with help from Isotarge, began looking into how to get around this. He began testing certain actions, such as entering break keys or entering a training barrel dead before the game, and waiting to be pulled into the intro story. This worked for a few actions, but not all. So he thought, why not try with a file other than File 1? File 2, it was a massive failure. File 3, it was his actual work. It turns out that this was because every time the game saves, it switches memory data between the loaded file, in this case File 3, and the handled file. Well, this wasn't discovered until later. TJ actually theorized this, but it wasn't able to confirm because of his Isotarge's lack of knowledge on the rules and rules. This resulted in discoveries a consistent way to send the information around File 1. Anyways, all of these improvements to the thread saved my game to 107 true abandonment, especially to the beginning of the run. The ISG driver run. However, by March 19th, 2015, Isotarge himself was able to complete a run, and he began continuing media packages right after I neared the end. After this, Isotarge would mostly work on tassing and emulation. But there was still more time saved to be had. Shortly after this run was completed, on April 2nd, 2015, something big happened. While it was known for a while that N64 games were going to be coming to the Wii U Virtual Console, it took Nintendo a while to finally release it. With this bundle of games came Donkey Kong 64, and naturally, speedrunners were curious about the potential for faster runs. Some people certainly mean no lag. Wait, no lag is a bad thing. It's actually a very bad thing, considering how many major tricks in the game involve the abuse of the game's lag mechanics. Mainly, this affected getting to the factory early. Every time that counts for hitting the game on the end of lag, it's simply not possible to resume from the run. The occasional early was also not possible because there wasn't enough lag on camera shift, so the idea of running the game on PC was effectively dead. Regardless, there was something going on in the community that would make the any percent run much easier. In late 2014, X-Corp was messing around with a known glitch called tag barrel storage, which exploits the way that tag barrels work. When entering a tag barrel, the game will lock the camera in place and load the visuals that we see for the menu. However, the Kong isn't actually transported to a new room or anything like that. They're simply frozen in place and invisible. After exiting, the Kong is made visible. There is a way to abuse this though. If a Kong's current state is changed after entering the tag barrel by doing something such as crouching, it makes it possible for the Kong to move around while in the menu. This creates some interesting side effects. For example, using one Kong's move in a different color. Next, Despite this, though, the trick is What in the Super Mario Bros. 90s Godzilla flick have to do with the new Mario Bros. Movie? It's either a giant land-sized Easter egg or just a goofy coincidence. The Super Mario Bros. Movie keeps it totally grounded, and what at least is grounded is a story about a pair of broken farmers transported to a magical land called the Mushroom Kingdom convene. As you'd expect with family-friendly fare, it's a fairly straightforward story. Evil Bowser wants to marry Princess Peach and take over the world. So Mario and his new friends set out to stop him, but there are plenty of wild places for a follow-up to go. In the games, Mario has traveled across the galaxy, explored strange new lands, and even used a magical cap to mind control a T-Rex. The sky is the limit as far as sequels are concerned, and the movie offers some hints as to where Mario and Luigi could go next. One of these clues lies in the post-credits scene. After Mario and his team have defeated Bowser and saved Brooklyn and the Mushroom Kingdom, the brothers go about living in this strange new world, but they may not be told their old home yet, as the scene takes place in the undercover standing on a green spot egg, when a candy falls. Other than Mario's longtime dinosaur partner, Yoshi, is not the first Yoshi hit the bottom in the film. When Mario, Peach, and Toad travel across various lands to reach the Emerald Kingdom, they pass up a bird-looking Yoshi. However, the one in the egg at the end of the film almost certainly belongs to the green Yoshi most closely associated with Mario. It's a clear teaser for Mario eventually teaming up with Yoshi in the sequel. But not so clear as why Super Mario Bros. Movie post-credits scene appears to be referencing 1998's Godzilla comic films. He looks angry. Yep, you heard that right. At the conclusion of that widely panned flick, after humanity has defeated the giant monster, the camera guides the viewers through the ruins of Madison Square Garden, landing on one of Godzilla's eggs. It hatches and a baby Godzilla emerges, roaring at the screen. The Super Mario Bros. Movie post-credit scene is weirdly similar, down to the camera movement. First, there's no hatching. However, as the screen cuts to black, Yoshi does emit his signature high-pitched squeak. Yoshi's inclusion at the end of the Super Mario Bros. Movie could hint to where a sequel could head. Yoshi became Mario's companion in Super Mario World, where Mario and Luigi go on a vacation to Dinosaur Land with Princess Toadstool, who is, of course, kidnapped by Bowser. The baby Godzilla hatching from its egg was actually supposed to set up a sequel to the monster flick. In fact, 1998's Godzilla was supposed to set up an entire trilogy, with the second installment following that Godzilla growing up and forming an attachment to Matthew Broderick's character from the first film, causing him to track the creature to the South Pacific. Additionally, that baby Godzilla would have been all grown up with a brood of its own, wreaking all sorts of havoc. Unfortunately, the negative critical reaction to the first Godzilla made Sony wary of pursuing a follow-up, and it never materialized. Hopefully, the Super Mario Bros. Movie doesn't have the same issue. While the new Mario movie received mixed reviews from critics, it's expected to do extremely well at the box office. In fact, it's projected to make roughly $225 million worldwide in its opening weekend. And if the numbers hold steady, it shouldn't be long until Mario is off on another big screen adventure. This time with the help of his friendly dinosaur steed.
Good to see you, Chris.
Thanks.
in. The colors of the word world exactly match the ones of Super Mario 3D World, which was the very first Mario game to use that exact color combination, and these blocks featured behind the logo are also from that game. So before we even enter, we can guess that it's mostly going to be based on Super Mario 3D World, and this holds true, but we'll get back to that. Real quick, listen. And that? These tracks and all the other ones we use on New Rockstars are from Persona Music, a new massive music licensing space built by creators for creators. Persona Music offers unlimited copyright-cleared music for your videos on all platforms under a single subscription license. Their library features music from Marvel and Disney trailers, Emmy award-winning soundtracks, and hundreds of hit TV shows. If you're a creator, getting your content flagged for copyright issues keeps people from seeing what you've made and keeps you from making money off of it. Persona Music makes your life so much easier. Persona integrates with YouTube's Content ID fingerprinting system to detect and clear claims, which during your Persona subscription will be cleared from Content ID claims forever. To get started with Persona Music, just head to app.personamusic.io or click the link in the description. Go to the pricing page, choose your plan, sign up, and apply code ROCKSTARS25 at checkout to get a 25% discount and 1 free month of Persona Music. To enter the land, you go through a giant pipe with multicolored lights that give the same atmosphere as that place between pipes that Mario and Luigi travel through in what we've seen in the Super Mario Bros. Movie. We come out of the other side and are hit straight away with the nostalgia feels as we step into the Super Mario 64 version of Peach's castle. It has the checkered floor, the sun detailing on the ground, and even the sky ceiling detail above that, where in the game you would look up to be transported to the Tower of the Wing Cap. Look left and right and you can see two paintings, one inspired by the Bob-omb Battlefield level of the game, and the other inspired by Tiny Huge Island. These paintings transform into different pictures using the same rippling effect that happens when Mario jumps into the paintings in the game, and the pictures they transform into are Peach with the golden mushroom and Bowser Jr. lurking off to the side, and Bowser Jr. stealing the golden mushroom. And this is our initial introduction to the overarching plot of this park's story if you go the route of getting the power-up bands, playing the games to get the keys, and then fighting Bowser Jr. But we'll put a bookmark in that and get back to it later. So remember how I was saying that the majority of this world will be influenced by Super Mario 3D World? So why would the first thing we step into be Super Mario 64 themed? I think this is to purposefully show the transition and evolution of the universe. Fans who grew up playing the first games are touched to see a site they know and love, and then get to physically step into the beautiful future of the series and really feel the magnificent scale of its growth, all while hearing the familiar melodies that have stayed consistent throughout the years. But don't worry, we'll have a whole section dedicated to it. So, step into the mainland and you see what universe they've done an amazing job with the accents. This long, breathable dust cloud when it hits the ground, black painted by Peach's castle and Amiibo are the stage one in the Mario 3D World. They're on over land, transforming straight out of the game. I'm talking arrows, I'm talking layouts, I'm talking doors, and friggin' Bowser has underwater walls, like an underwater hand that smell like milk, and it's not something you did. Style after Mount St. Paul or Green Run. Get this, Mario 3D World. The world is really nice. The lands that they feature actually match up pretty well with the world map version of Super Mario Bros. There's Peach's Castle, a desert land, an Iceland, and Bowser's Castle, possibly representing the Dark Land, with Yoshi's Island featured inside the attraction. There's no Donkey Kong Country yet, but a Donkey Kong Country expansion of the park is coming to Japan in 2024 and will be coming to the States sometime after that. I tried to confirm if this park would be getting an expansion with this minute, but she was keeping her lips sealed tight. So we'll have to wait and see. But looking at each of these lands more closely, we can figure out what exact games they're based on. The Desert Land is based on World 2 from Super Mario 3D World, which we can tell from the design on the walls and the fact that this is the only game to have pyramids with the tops cut off like that. Looking at the Iceland, the trees, ground, and mountains all appear to be from the Frosted Glacier world from New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. Bowser's Castle is based mostly on the Mario Kart 8 model, which makes sense considering it houses the Mario Kart ride, but uses a giant Bowser head entryway that's seen in a lot of the games, but most closely resembles the one in Mario Kart Wii or Super Mario 3D Land. The Yoshi's Island section is most definitely based on New Yoshi's Island, seen by the unique Yoshi coins and odes to several of the levels via pink flowers, gem-filled caves, and beanstalks, among other things. And finally, looking at Peach's Castle, this one kind of confuses me on how much it doesn't perfectly match any of the games exactly. It's kind of close to the one in Odyssey, which would make sense, as that's the closest match in the new movie, but uses the Super Mario 64 stained glass design which the movie did an enigma. Beautiful nonetheless. Some of the other cute features in the mainland are the giant mushroom umbrellas, pavilions, well, I don't know what to call them. We'll just say the giant mushrooms with the little mushroom seats under them. These are also featured in the new movie's trailer, but the toads use the smaller mushrooms as tables instead of seats in that. There are also binoculars from Super Mario Odyssey that you can look through and see different fun AR details depending on the time of day, like mystery doors, blue coins, and fireworks at night. And you can even zoom in on certain places to find Easter eggs like the Comet Observatory with Rosalina and the Lumas from Super Mario Galaxy, or even Pikmin. If you can't find the Pikmin through the binoculars though, don't worry, these little guys can be spotted around the park too. The mini-games you play to unlock keys are also based on various levels and enemies in Super Mario 3D World, like the rolling hills and the sleepy extra-long piranha creepers. Also, on the topic of mini-games and hidden details, there are 4 hard-to-spot M sensors scattered around the park, where if you activate them with a power band, an 8-bit Mario character will light up. Just in case you need an extra dash of old school among all these new age references. One of the main attractions at the park is Toadstool Cafe, which is built to look like a Toad house from Super Mario 3D World both inside and out. Step inside and you'll notice both a physical small and big present hanging from the ceiling, and virtual ones you can access with your power-up band, which are references to the power-ups you can get from Toad houses in the game. But that's not all. The floors, windows, pillars, and dining area walls are all identical to the game too. They also pulled references from the Toad houses in New Super Mario Bros. U, as you can see from the first room's walls, and you get hints of it in the design of the dining area ceiling as well. The next room you walk into introduces us to Chef Toad, which heartbreakingly indicates to me that Tasty's time in the Mario universe is up. Where is she, Nintendo? Is she in one of those cans back there? Be honest. Actually, speaking of, what is Chef Toad working with back there? In the background, we can see some mushrooms, some apples, a little canned fruit salad, and he's got a checklist that I almost thought might say something in cursive when you flip the image, but it's the same thing on the clipboard at the park in Japan, so it is probably just scribbled. Anyway, I may have cried over my burger at the thought of using Tasty, but I have to admit this is pretty dang cute. But the fun don't stop there, because the rest of this place is equally charming. The counter where you order is set up like a traditional game shop, and they offer a variety of cute foods with their own little details, like the Superstar Lemon Squash drink with little mango stars in it, and the Mountain Beanpole cake, which is made to look like Mount Beanpole with the flag and all. I also just want to point out how the trash and recycling bins have these little banana peels on them, which just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy. In the dining room, you can see various sights in the windows scattered around. Most of the time, you're watching cute little toads doing their cute little toad thing. And also, there are those same flowers from around the park again. But if you wait long enough, you'll get to see a storm coming in and a full-on Bowser airship attack. I'll take fries on the side of the menu here, please. And then, in the back window, you can see into the kitchen where the toads are preparing all the food. Now, I gotta say, the more I look at their kitchen, the more questions I have. I see what might be a cute little nod to the radishes in Super Mario Bros. 2 up front, which is nice. And then there's a sign in the back saying that bananas plus an apple does not equal a turnip. Yeah, okay. I might want to start seeing some credentials from these toads, actually. But, okay, what's in the back here? You got some cookbooks, coins, which seem like a weird thing to have in the kitchen. What looks like coins from a completely different game. And what are the pictures on these cans? You can't tell me that was not a cartoon dog. We have gotta go. So normally now would be the time that I talk about the main ride of the park, Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. Let me tell you, there were so many details both on the ride and in the queue for this ride that I need to make it its own video. I know, but like, just to give you a taste, in one of the many, many rooms, I saw 75 book titles that, yes, will be listed in that second video, which will probably be the same length as this video. But they're worth it. We were even given the heads up to keep an eye out for them.
I can pay attention to books, get Bowser's Study.
Okay.
There's some great ones in there.
But it's too much for this video, so let's jump over to where you end up at the end of the ride, the 1-Up Factory. This store is so cute, and the style definitely reminds me of Super Mario Galaxy's Toy Time Galaxy or Rolling Gizmo Galaxy. However, the details, like the fans, arrows, and meters, are all incredibly similar to Mario Party 9's Bob-omb Factory. Overall, just a lot of babies from the eyes. So now it is time to remove the Bowser Jr. bookmark I put in at the beginning of the video, because I feel like we're ready. Starting with the outside, his fortress is sat next to his dad's, and is heartwarmingly a much smaller castle with an unbeaten flag on the top. Once you get the 3 keys necessary to unlock the giant padlock, you get a glimpse of a hideaway straight out of a destructive toddler's dream. There's graffiti everywhere, and if you'll remember the paintings when you first entered, you'll note that Bowser Jr. has a paintbrush. Now, this paintbrush was first introduced to him, which is nice way to say that he stole it, in Super Mario Sunshine, where he used it to graffiti the city. Now, it's not the same paintbrush, since that one had Professor Egad's logo on it, and last we saw was no longer in Bowser Jr.'s possession, but more than likely is the one he has in Super Mario 3D World Bowser's Fury. However, I do believe all this graffiti in his hideaway is still a Super Mario Sunshine reference, and in Japan, the M marking from the game is even at the entrance, but it's been omitted from this version for some reason. But the graffiti is delightfully childish, and the details in the paintings, like the apple juice he's drinking in one of them, remind us that this tiny tyrant is still just a toddler, which makes his mischievous nature oddly lovable. We get a better sense of this mixture of innocence and destructiveness in the next room, as we see his horde of weapons like the paintbrush, Koopa broom, Hammer Bro helmet and hammer, poison shroom, spike ball, Mecha Koopa, and Goomba shoe. There's also a magic wand among these weapons, which from the colors looks to be Wendy's wand, alongside his blocks. His building blocks. It's so cute. His Junior Clown Car is also being stored here, which we can tell isn't the original Clown Car due to the smaller smile and their eyes. Bowser Jr. Shadow Showdown is all about trying to get back the golden mushroom that he stole from Princess Peach, and when you do, you're rewarded with a letter of gratitude from the princess herself. So one majorly overlooked thing that could really add a lot to the atmosphere of a theme park is the music, and this park has a ton of original orchestrational versions of songs from throughout the games that play steadily in the background of all the areas of the park. Here are some of the ones I heard during my visit, but keep in mind that each area can have a variety of tracks that cycle through, so this is just what happened to be playing when I was in any given area. The entrance to the park is an original composition unique to Super Nintendo World that has a bit of Dusty Garden Galaxy from Super Mario Galaxy in it, giving it a feeling of adventure and wonder. When you enter the pipe at the entrance, the Warp Pipe sound plays, followed by athletic themes of Super Mario Bros. 3. In Peach's Castle, you appropriately hear the song Inside the Castle Walls from Super Mario 64, and upon leaving the castle and stepping into the mainland, you are greeted with the famous Overworld theme from Super Mario Bros. Some other themes that you'll hear walking around the main area include Super Bell Hill and World 1 from Super Mario 3D World. Many of the songs you hear are directly tied to the area you're in, so in the underground themed areas, you'll likely hear the Super Mario Bros. Underground theme, or the Super Mario 3D Land Castle theme, along with a ton of Mario Kart 8 songs in Bowser's Castle. You might hear Flower Garden from Yoshi's Island while in the Yoshi's New Island part of the queue, or Comet Observatory 3 from Super Mario Galaxy while dining at the Toadstool Cafe. Like I said, there are so many more songs besides these, so be sure to keep your ears open when you visit. And now, you've made it this far. It is time for my absolute favorite detail in all of Super Nintendo World. Something that most people will never see when they visit. Something that is so minute and overlooked that it will never fully get the appreciation it deserves. Something you can't even begin to imagine. Ready? What foresight is the man? So that is every detail you could possibly hope for at Super Nintendo World. Sans Bowser's Castle, which will be its own video, so be on the lookout for that. And a huge thanks to Universal for allowing us this exclusive access. This is our first time covering a theme park on New Rockstars, so if you'd be interested in more theme park coverage, leave a comment below. Until then, you can follow me on Twitter at @It'sAnnaVanston, and follow and subscribe to New Rockstars at New Rockstars for more breakdowns of everything you love.